Hi, friends. Okay, I wanted to take some time and talk about being an empath. I've seen a lot of posts come up in different groups that I follow where people are talking about being an empath and having a really hard time right now with things, and even people who are not empaths are having a hard time. So I can't imagine because I am an empath. Um, that it's really hard right now, harder than you may have ever experienced in your life as an empath. But let's talk about are you one? So if you are coming upon this video and you don't know for sure or not, let's break it down. Basically, an empath is someone that picks up on the feelings of other people. They can feel the vibe out in a room. Let's say that a couple of people were in a very heated argument, but when they heard you coming, they stopped talking or they started pretending everything was okay. You would come in and you would still feel that everything is not okay. Um, and that is you sense like energy comes off of people in waves, and you as an empath pick up on that. You feel it. um, Other things, if someone's trying to dominate you, if they are trying to manipulate you, I encourage you as an empath to read the book or watch the movie called The Celestine Prophecy. It talks a lot about energetic exchange. And so when you're an empath, you really can feel the energetic exchange at a heightened level. And so if someone's trying to manipulate you or dominate you, you might feel very scared. You might feel threatened. You might feel shaky. You might feel uncomfortable, queasy. Um, and you might not always be able to place why you're feeling the way that you're feeling. You just and for that reason it makes it hard, because if you don't know why you're feeling this way, you just think that you have mental problems, mental issues. um, with anxiety, having anxiety about things, and not knowing that you're an empath. So or that you're just having crazy mood swings. So if you're around a bunch of people, if you go to a club and you're an empath, that can be very uncomfortable for an empath, because you that is like so overwhelming, because you're being hit with so much energy from all these different people. Now at the same time, if you're in a situation where it's a very positive, heightened moment, you can get a buzz off of it. You can feel very high and very energized. And that's a beautiful thing, but that's one of the upsides. It's not the only side. Um, so if you don't realize that you have this, then you start to feel like you're out of control of yourself. You're overwhelmed a lot, and you can't control your emotions. You can't control the way that you feel. You just want to feel okay. And it's few and far between that you feel okay. And maybe you notice that when you're at home by yourself and you stop interacting with people, you start to feel better. And then that can be um, viewed as being antisocial. Um, and you don't like people. But an empath um, cares a lot about people. That's the problem. Empaths naturally care so much that their spirit, their energy is primed to understand other people. And and maybe as a spirit, before you incarnated on the planet, you decided that I'm going to have this great gift. But then here you are born and you're living in the world and you're like, I don't know, I have this gift and this is messed up. What's going on? So keep that in mind. And there are ways. So now, is it a blessing or is it a curse? Um, it can be both. It can be both. But one thing that will make you definitely feel like it's a curse is not facing that this is what's going on and not doing things to balance out and hone in on it and manage it. Now, I'm going to move off just really quickly. I want to talk about vitamin deficiency because there was a time that my vitamin D was very, very low. Was at like 9%, which is very bad, very bad. And during that time, I felt very weird. Like I had a really hard time focusing, but I also felt very unsafe in my surroundings. I sat at a desk where, let's say, there was maybe 3 feet behind me before the wall. And so people had to walk behind me to go to their desk. And that felt very uncomfortable. I felt like I had no aura. It was very uncomfortable. I could not find a feeling of feeling safe. And it turns out that being that low on vitamin D will cause that. Will cause confusion, mental confusion, depression. It's only one of the things that vitamin D does. Vitamin D deficiency does. And so I do encourage everybody, because you can also be low on magnesium, can make you make your anxiety worse. So I definitely encourage people to see a doctor, get your physical, get your blood done, your blood tests, your blood work done, and find out what your vitamin levels look like. Most of the time, they will test you for that. And if they don't, you can request it. It should be a part of your physical. That's standard. And they'll prescribe you with a high level of vitamin D or whatever it is. Some people are low in potassium. And when you get your levels up, you can then say, okay, that was because of my anxiety. Now, a lot of people who have anxiety and depression are not cured from vitamins. However, the some of the extreme daily symptoms are eased from it. And so getting that taken care of will at least bring you to a place where you're like, okay, I have that handled. I have that under control. What's next? And what's next is the spiritual aspect of it. And that's with psychic hygiene. So you want to be able to learn things such as meditating, and grounding, and shielding. Grounding is basically being able to push that energy out of your body and down into the earth and let the earth have it. Shielding prevents all of that random negative energy, random feelings, because just an empath doesn't pick up only negative things. You can pick up chaos, you can pick up happiness, and you can pick up sadness, you can pick up depression, you can pick up grief. It can be a gift. When people need someone to understand, an empath can really tap in and really be there with them and say, I can empathize with how you're feeling, and they can mean it more than anybody else. And so when you are able to manage this and learn how to protect yourself, then when you're in a situation with somebody who is manipulative and trying to control you, you can put up your shield and you can tell the difference between your feelings and their feelings. Like, am I really scared of this person? Or is it their energy pushing on me that's causing me to have this shaky uncomfortableness? And when you can identify that it's somebody else that's feeling these emotions, then you're able to say, I don't need to be around that person because they have no good intention for me. somebody who's smiling in your face, but they actually have ill intentions, or they don't like you. It's really hard to be around somebody who's being nice to you or pretending to be nice to you and being an empath and know that they're lying, or that they're pretending. They've got a mask on, because empaths can see right past that mask. So with all that said, I did do a video on psychic hygiene, and I will include it in the description section so that you can look at it and find some different ways to keep your energy clear. It's really just like making sure that you eat well, making sure that you take a shower, you brush your teeth. Psychic hygiene is for your spirit, and the spiritual affects the physical, and vice versa. The physical affects the spiritual, and so you need to do some things. You just can't. And now I don't know if there's a way to turn it off. I know that people. Well, I've only heard about it in the movies, that people have actually shut down their gifts. I don't know how you do it. I've never tried. I can't say it's impossible, but I would say that it would be very difficult. And you're needed as you are. You're born the way you were for a reason, and in this time in our world. So right now, it's really time to go within and learn to protect yourself. And once you've done that, then you can go out and you can help people. But until you do that, you're walking outside in a thunderstorm without a raincoat on or an umbrella. Truthfully, I mean, there's so many different ways to metaphors for it, but basically, you as an empath, doctor didn't see you when you were born and say, oh, this one's an empath, she's gonna need to do this and that. Just make sure that you feed your empath well, so you if you've had a rough time of it, it's okay. It's okay to acknowledge and accept that. Don't be hard on yourself, because nobody told you or nobody taught you how to manage this gift that you have, this thing that can be a gift. Depending on how you learn to protect yourself and manage your own energy and understand others' energy. So again, watch the movie, The Celestine Prophecy, or read the book. Okay, I'm gonna pull a card to close out here. Come on. This is a new deck. I just listened to whatever deck wanted to speak, and this was the deck. So, for my empaths out there, what do you have to tell us, please? Please like this video if you did. Please subscribe to my channel, and comment below if you have anything that you want to add to this or talk about. Okay, so this is what I got. Fogged in. Go slow, take time. Okay, and so I'm gonna definitely take this as advice. Go slow. Go slow and take time understanding yourself and understanding how to shield yourself and how to ground and how to meditate. There's a lot of different ways to meditate. Not one way works for everybody, and it's okay. There's a lot of different ways to meditate so that everybody can meditate in one way or another. And don't be hard on yourself. Empaths are really hard on themselves. And that's something that you have to undo about yourself and stop stop doing that. Stop being so hard on yourself. So if you do learn to shield and you're like, oh, this is awesome, yay, and then you get in a situation and this asshole says something to you and just dumps all his energy on you, and you're like, you feel like crap, and it takes you a whole day to get all that stuff out of you, and you're like, I can't believe I let that happen. Just go easy on yourself, okay? Just go easy on yourself. It takes time. And even somebody who has a very strong spiritual structure, foundation, and different things in their spiritual toolbox to get through all of the mess that's happening in the world, they still trip up because you're human. So you're not ever going to be able to 100% avoid everything. But every day you can get better. Focus on yourself and your own well-being, and the well-being of others can come after that. You have to be your best. You need to be able to stand strong as a lighthouse. You need to be able to handle the storm and the tides slamming against you and just stand there with your light on like, I'm here. You need to get to that place. Okay, so I'm sending you my love and light, and take care. I'll make sure to add things into the description section for you. Okay, bye.